I want to tell you a little bit about Tom, who I had a chance to meet just a little earlier. He is, as actually every one of the four speakers this morning, the kind of a PANO superstar for the next day and a half. We're really happy to have him here. In the case of Tom, he is referred to as, wow, this is cool, the world's top expert on donor communications. I may want to schedule a private session with you sometime during the conference. That sounds pretty powerful. He applies the discoveries of psychology and neuroscience to the day-to-day business of inspiring and retaining donors. I love that, inspiring and retaining donors. One form of applied psychology he practices and preaches is extreme donor centricity, known as XDC. Tom has written 5 well-received how-to books. Probably going to be a few more sales of those books by the time he finishes as our PANO guest. Let's welcome Tom Ahern.
Okay, everything I know in 10 minutes. In other words, when I sit down at my desk in the morning, I've got a client project in front of me, often direct mail or case for support for a capital campaign. These are the top things that I need to be aware of. Lucky me, I get to present all over the world, so I'm constantly reminded of this stuff. Well, here's a cartoon I just ran across. We're hoping you'll lead us on a journey of transformation without requiring any real changes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a theme park ride that is just like flat and goes nowhere. This is part of the problem. We want better results without changing anything. Let's keep doing what we're doing, and the income will go up. Of course, that's insane, and it will not happen. So the most important message I have for this conference, and we're going to see it this morning in 10 minutes, now 8 minutes, is you have to do it differently if you want different results. Okay, so I know that a photo of a sad child is going to raise 50% more money than a photo of a happy child or a neutral child. I know that if I tell a story, I'm going to get this relative amount of giving, versus if I rely on statistics with individual donors, I'm going to get this amount of giving. And if I mix statistics with storytelling, I'm going to pee in the pool and I'm going to reduce the amount of giving. Storytelling is where you have to be for individual donors. I know that the human brain did not evolve to detect any difference between false flattery and true flattery. That all flattery is accepted and welcomed. I know that donors in the United States are far older than most people realize. And they're far older than most newcomers to the fundraising profession. This big slice of the pie is 65 and older. This slice of the pie is 55 to 64. That's 2/3 of your donors right there. I know that if I have donors who are older and I give them 10-point type or 12-point type, they hate my guts. So we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to give them type they can easily read. I know that what people actually do is skim. They look at the big splashes of ink first, artwork, photos, headlines, and the last thing they look at, and they generally don't look at, is your text. So anything in paragraph 2, that's the dead zone. I know that there are 7 reasons why donors stay loyal to a cause that they have started supporting. According to Adrian Sargent, the world's top researcher into fundraising matters. This is one of them. You've established a personal link. There are 6 more. I know that the goldfish has a scientifically measured longer attention span than the human of 2012. Thank you, Internet. I know that if the cause wants to talk about itself all the time, it will raise the least amount of money. I know that most of you right now are producing corporate communications, and the controlling pronoun is the word we. Similar to Mount Sinai's ad here. We turned a child who couldn't hear into a typical 2-year-old who does not listen. This is a fabulous piece of copywriting, but it doesn't raise money. I know that in order to raise money, I have to plaster the word you everywhere the reader might look. So if Mount Sinai wanted to change this into donor communications, they would add a prefix, put the donor first. Thanks to you and other generous donors like you, we were able to do this miracle. I know that the entire universe of donor communications is quite small. I know that if I follow the advice of my favorite guru, Seth Godin, I will make a lot more money. We support a charity because it gives us a chance to love something about ourselves. An act of giving is not about your organization. It is about the person doing the gift. I know that all I have to do is to ask for your help, thank you for your help, and then report back to you what I did with your help. But I also know that the part that charity cares about, getting that money in the door, is the part the donor cares about least. Donors do not give you the money they need to live. They give you their service. Whether it's $30 or $30 million, it's money that they can live without. Therefore, they don't care about the money. They care about other things. The way you thank them, which often is robotically. The way you report to them, which generally speaking is totally in the ditch. Inappropriate, useless. Your thanks and your newsletters are how you hug your donors through donor communications. We're not, for all the smiles and kindness in fundraising, we're not the world's best huggers when you get to your communications stuff. I know from Richard Radcliffe, who has interviewed more than 17,000 donors about their reasons for giving, that they are staggeringly ignorant of the causes they support. And yet he did not mean that was a bad thing. He meant lucky us. We don't have to really explain very much to them. They come 99% equipped to the party, ready to give if you are a good match for their values and so forth. Values and their interests and their existing beliefs and their background and their experiences in life. All of these things drive giving. The details of your programs are pointless to the donor. That's insider stuff, not outsider stuff. I know that when you come to me, for instance, through direct mail or email, sending me anything into the privacy of my head and the privacy of my home, that you have two choices. You can be the guest who comes in, sits down, and for 20 minutes talks about himself. Or you can be the guest who comes in, sits down, and says, "Thank you for having me. I feel the warmth in your home. It just feels so good to be here." Who's going to be invited back? Obviously not the idiot who sits there for 20 minutes talking about himself. And yet that is how charities typically act. I know that I will pay attention, this is neuroscience, to what interests me, and what interests me most is me. And it's the same for all of you. That's it. Okay, so we have 49 seconds. Anybody have a question?
That was good.
Great job.
Thank you. Actually, it's fun to get it all done in 10 minutes. That's all I have to say to this entire conference.